Morning.
Good morning, ma'am.
So we were discussing about the quality factor of ohmic as well as the radiation attenuation constant. So now we'll look into the same factor, that is quality factor related to dielectric attenuation constant. The first step is write down what is the formula of quality factor of a dielectric attenuation constant. It is 27.3 alpha D, where alpha D is nothing but the attenuation constant of dielectric, which is again expressed in dB per lambda G or a guided wavelength. Previously, we have derived what is alpha D, that is with respect to your dielectric constant. So alpha D, the equation of alpha D is 27.3 Q into epsilon R divided by epsilon RE into tan theta, and the unit is dB by lambda G, which you can take it as the second equation, where you know the Q is nothing but the filling factor, which is again given by the equation, that is epsilon RE minus 1 by epsilon R minus 1. For simplification purpose, we take this approximately equal to epsilon RE by epsilon R. So if you just substitute now the equation, substitute equation 2 and 3 in equation 1. So you'll have the equation as QD is equal to 27.3 divided by 27.3. There is Q which you have to substitute, that is epsilon RE by epsilon R, and you have again epsilon R by epsilon RE tan theta. So if I simplify that particular equation, so your 27.3 and 27.3 gets cancelled. Epsilon RE gets cancelled. Similarly, epsilon R gets cancelled. So I'll be left with the equation, that is QD is approximately equal to, sorry, this tan theta has to come down, not in the numerator. So it is in the denominator, tan theta. So it will be 1 divided by tan theta. So this is the expression of quality factor for attenuation constant, that is dielectric attenuation constant. So if you see QD here for dielectric attenuation constant of a microstrip line, this is approximately equal to reciprocal of dielectric loss tangent. This is called as dielectric loss tangent. So this is a reciprocal of dielectric loss tangent, and relatively, if you consider frequency, in terms of frequency, it will be constant because there is no variation. So with respect to frequency, it is constant. So first step is write down what is the quality factor equation of dielectric attenuation constant 27.3 by alpha D. Make it as equation 1 and write the equation of alpha D, that is 27.3 Q epsilon R by epsilon RE tan theta, where Q is the filling factor, epsilon RE minus 1, epsilon R minus 1. So approximately, for simplification purpose, we make it as epsilon RE by epsilon R. Consider those equation as 3, substitute 2 and 3 in this first equation. For alpha D, you substitute this. Then for Q, you can substitute epsilon R by epsilon RE. So the terms gets cancelled and you will be left out with approximately 1 by tan theta, which says that the QD for the quality factor for dielectric attenuation constant of a microstrip line is approximately the reciprocal of dielectric loss tangent, which is nothing but tangent theta, and is relatively constant with frequency. Okay, so I'll clear the screen. The next topic is, till now we have seen microstrip line, that microstrip line. The next one you will be looking into, what is a parallel strip line? Now, when you consider this parallel strip line, usually it consists of perfectly two strips. That is two parallel strips. The name itself states there is something which is related to parallel. So you'll have two parallel strips. Using that two parallel strips, that has to be again separated. So it will be separated by a perfect dielectric slab of, say, some thickness. We say take a uniform thickness. Based on that uniform thickness, you are separating the two parallel strips. Then you have a width that is nothing but, we take it as W, using that, and the separation distance, that is D, as well as a relative dielectric constant of a slab, which we take as epsilon RD. So again, you have perfectly two conductors, that is two parallel strips. So based on that two parallel strips, you separate it by a perfect dielectric slab, which is of uniform thickness, as well as width W and separation distance D. So we can just see the figure. Just a minute, I'll share the screen. So this is a parallel strip. You have two strips here. You can see both the conductors. And these both conductors are separated by a perfect dielectric slab, which is of uniform thickness. So the dielectric has mu D and epsilon D as the dielectric constant, or we can take it as epsilon RD also. And it is separated by a distance, that is D. Now, based on this, you have distributed parameters. Now, this distributed parameters are nothing but inductance, capacitance, resistance, that is characteristic impedance, as well as phase velocity. Now, these are the 5 parameters which are called as distributed parameters in the parallel strip line, which you have to find out the equations. You have to derive these equations for each cases. And again, this is important with your exam point of view. Now, distributed parameters, here you say that parallel strip line, which is nothing but these two parallel conductors, what you see, this is similar to two conductor transmission line. So that again, you know, two conductor transmission line is nothing but your microstrip kind of a strip line, where it supports the quasi TEM wave, that is transverse electromagnetic mode. Now, considering the same transverse electromagnetic mode, which is propagating in the positive Z direction, you will consider the lossless strip line. Lossless means the condition is R, that is your resistance and conductance, will be equal to 0. We have studied in module 1, transmission line. If it is a lossless medium, the resistance and the conductance both are equal to 0. Now here, if you consider the XYZ direction, you have to consider the electric field usually in the Y direction and magnetic field in the X direction. So if the width, if you consider, which is greater than the distance, so you have to write down the formulas for each of the equation. Again, derivation is only for characteristic impedance. Rest all equations is very important with respect to the problems. So equation of inductance, just a minute. So when you write the inductance, the formula for the inductance is mu C into D by W, Henry per meter. Similarly, mu C is nothing but permeability of the conductor. Next is capacitance, capacitance between the two conducting strips. So whatever you write here, either it is an inductor or a capacitance, it will be in between these two conductors. Similarly, capacitance between the two conducting strips is expressed as C is equal to epsilon D W by D, where epsilon D is permittivity of the dielectric slab. Similarly, if two parallel strips here, if it has a surface resistance, which we know that it is Rs, and dielectric substrate will have some conductance. So the parallel strip line again would have losses. So based on that losses, you're writing the series resistance for both strips, which is given as 2 Rs by W, or it is 2 by W. Rs is the surface skin resistance, which we have seen yesterday, the formula, the same formula you can substitute, pi F mu C by sigma C, which is ohm per meter. If you're writing for conductance, G is equal to sigma D W by D. Sigma D W by D. So it is moles per meter. Z0, that is a characteristic impedance root L by C. Thus, you have to derive it. The derivation is just you have L by C. We'll look into it. First, write down these three equations. Inductance as mu C D by W. Capacitance as epsilon D by dW by D. Similarly, resistance is 2 times of Rs by W, or 2 by W square root of pi F mu C by sigma C. Conductance G is equal to sigma D W by D, where your Rs is the surface resistance, which is ohms per square. Sigma C is conductivity, whereas sigma D is dielectric substrate conductivity. So you can just derive the characteristic impedance, that is Z0, which is given by the equation here. That is Z0 is equal to, the first module, same equation you'll be referring. Z0 is equal to L by C. But L and C equation changes here. L, we know it is given by the equation mu C D by W. Similarly, C is given by the equation epsilon D W by D. So just substitute it here, that is square root of mu C D by W divided by epsilon D W by D. So if you simplify this, it will be square root of mu C by epsilon D, and this will be D square by W square. D will go up, W will be the denominator. So the equation D square by W, you can write it as D by W square root of mu C by epsilon D. Now this mu C is also equal to mu naught. So the value will be 4 pi into 10 to the power minus 7. Epsilon naught will be, or epsilon D is nothing but epsilon naught D, epsilon naught RD, where your epsilon naught D is also equal to epsilon naught, that is 8.854 into 10 to the power minus 12, where your mu R will be equal to 1. That is for, if you are writing for mu C, or mu R doesn't come here because directly you are writing for mu naught. So just substitute the equation here, D by W square root of 4 pi into 10 to the power minus 7 divided by 8.854 into 10 to the power minus 12. Again, square root of epsilon RD. What is the value of this? We have already done this value. Divide that mu naught by epsilon naught. How much you'll be getting? What is the value of that? Usually we get 377. 377 D by W square root of epsilon RD. So this is the characteristic impedance equation for width greater than d. Okay, I'll clear the screen. The next thing is you have to derive for phase velocity. Again, phase velocity also it is similar. The formula of phase velocity is what? General formula of phase velocity. First module. Is it omega by beta? Phase velocity. The formula is omega by beta. Whereas omega, you know, it is 2 pi f. Beta is nothing but omega root LC. All are the first module equations. So it is, or you can, don't write 2 pi f, your omega gets cancelled here. So which is equal to 1 divided by root L by C. Similarly, you can write as Vp is equal to, there is one more equation with respect to L by C, where you know L and C values. What is L in terms of parallel strip line is mu C d by W. Similarly, capacitance is epsilon d W by d. So substitute it here for this equation LC. LC values I'm writing. So it is mu C d by W epsilon naught d W by d. So which is again equal to your d and d gets cancelled, W and W gets cancelled. So you'll be remaining with 1 divided by square root of mu C into epsilon d. Now again, you know that you can substitute for this. Mu C is nothing but mu naught. So which will have mu C is mu naught. Epsilon d is nothing but epsilon naught into epsilon RD. So substitute the values of mu naught and epsilon naught. That will be square root of 4 pi into 10 to the power minus 7 into 8.854 into 10 power minus 12 into epsilon RD. So what is the value? You should be getting, you know, the equation C is equal to 1 by square root of mu naught epsilon naught. So 1 by this value, you should be getting 3 into 10 to the power 8 meter per second. Just check whether you're getting it. 1 by square root of this value.
Zero 0.05 by square root of ERD.
Okay. You have done 1 divided by that, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Do one thing. Just multiply this and check. 4 pi into 10 power minus 7 into 8.854 into 10 power minus 12. Take square root of that. If you do 1 divided by, I think you'll give getting 2.99 into 10 power
You're
8.
getting it, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, you'll
You're
get it as
getting
2.99 into 10 power 8, which is nothing but your C, or you call it as velocity. So I can write directly here 1 by that is nothing but C by square root of epsilon RD. If you get confused with writing C, you can also mention it as V naught, how you usually take epsilon RD. So this is one more equation of phase velocity. Any confusions? Okay. So this was the characteristic impedance of lossless line which we considered. The next thing is you have to derive for characteristic impedance. It is similar both lossless and lossy line. So this is for a lossy medium, characteristic impedance for a lossy medium. So for this also the Z0 value remains same, that is square root of L by C. You will substitute the value of L and C, mu C d by W. Similarly, because we don't use this resistance and the conductance parameter here, so you will get the same equation, d by W square root of mu C by epsilon d. Again, if you simplify that value, it is approximately equal to 377 divided by epsilon RD d by W. So this for lossy medium and a lossless medium in a strip line, Z0 value remains same, 377 square root of epsilon RD d by W. The next thing what you have to derive is, clear the screen, attenuation losses. So coming to this, that is the attenuation losses, the derivation is same as your first module. That is, you have to find out what is propagation constant. This is again for a lossy medium. So you'll be taking the same formulas, R plus j omega L, G plus j omega C, and you are taking j omega LC outside. So you'll be considering the condition for a lossy medium, that is G is lesser than omega, L is just lesser than omega C. I'll not be deriving the equation again because we have already derived an module 1. Write the equation directly for both the cases. That is what you have found out alpha and beta. That is attenuation constant as well as phase constant. Same derivation, but usually the derivation is not asked here. You will be doing the problems. So the alpha value, what you get here, that is half into R square root of C by L. You can check the notes if you want. You have written the same formula, or we have derived the same thing. So which is nothing but Neper per meter. So here the difference is you have two terms. There also you have two terms. What you'll be writing for this term is, this is your alpha D and this is your alpha C. Sorry, this is your alpha C, this is your alpha D. Ohmic with respect to R, dielectric with respect to conductance. So alpha is nothing but alpha C plus alpha D, whereas beta formula remains same, that is omega root L by C. Even alpha formula remains, but there you are not taking it as ohmic loss, ohmic attenuation and dielectric attenuation. You will consider here as ohmic attenuation as well as the dielectric attenuation. Now to the same equation, that is alpha C. If you consider the alpha C equation, which is nothing but half into R into root C by L, to this substitute the values of capacitance and inductance. The same equation what we have for capacitance, that is epsilon d W by D, for L mu C d by W. Substitute it. By the time we'll continue. Clear the screen. Write down the equation. Don't just simply listen to whatever I tell here. Now substitute for alpha C. So alpha C is equal to half into R. For C, you have the equation mu C d by W. Similarly, for C, for C, it is epsilon d W by D. For L, it is mu C d by W. So if I simplify this equation, you will be getting it as, which is equal to half into R. Bring this to the numerator. You have epsilon d omega W square mu C into T square, again square root. But you know that you have the value of Rs, or you know the value of R. R is nothing but Rs by or 2RS by W. This is for a parallel strip line resistance where RS is the skin resistance. So substitute the RS value, which is half into R is nothing but 2RS by W. And the equation what you have here, that is square root of epsilon D by mu C. This is omega W square by D square inside the square root. So I can write it as W by D. Again, now you have to substitute RS value. What is RS equation? What is the equation of RS?
Square root of
Square root of
mu F
pi
pi
f mu C divided by
sigma.
sigma. Sigma it is mu by sigma. Since we are taking here for ohmic laws, I have given a subscript as C, mu C and sigma C. Now substitute that value here. So you have half into, okay, you can cancel that 2 and half here. So those equations 2 and 2 gets cancelled. Again here W and W gets cancelled. So you'll be left out with RS. RS value is nothing but square root of pi F mu C by sigma C into square root of epsilon D divided by mu C into there is 1 by D. Now here your mu C and mu C will get cancelled. So you'll be left out with the equation 1 by D square root of pi F epsilon D divided by sigma C, which is again Nepers per meter. So this is the dielectric constant equation for a lossless line in terms of ohmic attenuation constant. 1 by D square root of pi F epsilon D sigma C. Any confusions? Okay. So I'll clear the screen.
1 second, ma'am.
Yeah. Those who have completed can try for a sigma, that is alpha D, same equation. Instead of R, you have G there. Done?
Yes.
Now write for alpha D. It is dielectric constant. The one more term of attenuation constant what was remaining was half into G L by C. Now G for an parallel strip line is given by sigma D W by D. Substitute this value as well as L and C value. L is nothing but mu C D by W. C is nothing but epsilon D W by D. Substitute all these three values here. So this is sigma D W by D square root of mu C D by W divided by epsilon D W by D. So if I simplify this, it is half sigma D W by D square root of mu C by epsilon D. D will come to the numerator, D square. This will be W square. Again simplify, it is half sigma D W divided by D. This is D square by W square inside the square root. So it will be D by W. This is square root of mu C by epsilon D. So your D and D will get cancelled. W and W will get cancelled. So the remaining equation what you have is alpha D is equal to half into sigma D square root of, you know this value, mu C is nothing but equal to mu naught. That is nothing but 4 pi into 10 to the power minus 7 divided by epsilon D is nothing but epsilon naught into epsilon RD. So this is 8.854 into 10 to the power minus 12 into square root of epsilon RD. So we know the value of this. 4 pi into 10 power minus 7, 8.854. You will get it as 376.73 or 377 sigma D divided by 2 times of epsilon RD square root. Simplify this, 377 by 2 or 376.73 by 2.
188.36.
Yeah, 188.36. I'll approximately take it as 188 sigma D divided by square root of epsilon RD. So this is the equation for a lossy microstrip or lossy parallel strip line with dielectric attenuation constant alpha D. So the equation will be 188 sigma D divided with square root of epsilon RD. Unit is Nepper per meter. So the same equations are here. Propagation constant, you'll be taking this, considering this, you'll get these equation alpha and beta, A plus JB form. This is your alpha C and alpha D. This is beta omega root LC. Consider this equation, substitute L and C values, R value, you get 1 by D square root of pi S epsilon D by sigma, epsilon C by sigma C. Similarly, alpha D is 1 by 2 G root L by C. Substitute values, you will get 188 sigma D square root of epsilon RD Nepper per meters. Now take down a problem. A lossless parallel strip line, a lossless parallel strip line has a conducting strip width W. The substrate dielectric separating the two conducting strips has a relative dielectric constant epsilon RD of 6. Inside the bracket you write BeO, beryllium oxide. Epsilon RD of 6 and a thickness D 4 millimeter. A lossless parallel strip line has a conducting strip width W. Substrate dielectric separating the two conducting strips has a relative dielectric constant epsilon RD of 6 inside the bracket BeO and a thickness D of 4 millimeter. Calculate under that first one required width of a conducting strip in order to have a characteristic impedance of 50 ohm. Second, strip line capacitance. Third, strip line inductance. Fourth, phase velocity of the wave. Phase velocity of the wave in the parallel strip line. Phase velocity of the wave in the parallel strip line. Now, how do you relate the first parameter? What do you find out? W, that is width, should be found out. Given parameters are epsilon RD, D, and Z0. Any idea? Okay. The first thing, it is related to Z0. So, what is the Z0 equation? Characteristic impedance. What is characteristic impedance equation?
377 into d by omega into square root of ERD.
377 d square root of epsilon RD W. Now from this you can find out W. Bring this, alter the equation, 377 d by square root of epsilon RD into Z0, because we have the value of Z0. Substitute the values, 377 into 4 millimeter, 4 into 10 to the power minus 3, divide, epsilon RD is given 6, Z0 is given 50. Tell me the answer. Others, you have to solve it. Without solving, it is not possible to study everything.
Zero point 0.0123.
Yeah. In terms of milli,
Yes.
12.31 milli. Just check. 12.31 millimeter.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
12.31.
Okay. Now, next thing is you have to calculate what is strip line capacitance. Capacitance, you have direct formula. That is epsilon D W by D. Substituted. Epsilon D, see here, the value what is given is epsilon RD. So you have to be careful when you substitute the formula. It is only epsilon D here. So when you write epsilon D, that is nothing but epsilon naught into epsilon RD W divided by D. So this thing you have to be careful. Epsilon naught value is directly 8.854 into 10 to the power minus 12. Epsilon RD value is given already. It is 6. And W value, you have calculated it above, 2.31 into 10 to the power minus 3 divided by 4 milli. 4 into 10 to the power minus 3. 10 power minus 3, 10 power minus 3 get cancelled. Rest of the thing, you solve it and tell me. Tell me the answer in terms of picofarad. 10 power minus 12.
163.48 picofarad.
Yeah. 163.48. I'll take it as 5 picofarad per meter. Getting others? Same answer?
Yes, ma'am.
I'll clear the screen. The next thing is you have to derive or you have to find out for strip line inductance. The inductance formula is mu C D by W. Again here, mu C will not change because we know mu C is nothing but mu naught. So you can directly write the formula. Mu C is nothing but 4 pi into 10 to the power minus 7. D is nothing but 4 into 10 to the power minus 3. Whereas width is 12.31 into 10 to the power minus 3. Answer? Micro. Tell me in terms of microfarad. Sorry, microhenry. Again, here also 10 power minus 3 get cancelled. We'll be left out with 16 pi divided by 12.31.
Zero 0.4 micro.
Yeah, correct. 0.41 microhenry per meter. Getting others?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Coming to phase velocity, Vp is nothing but we know the formula C by square root of epsilon Rd, where C is velocity. So you can directly substitute 3 into 10 to the power 8 divided by square root of 6. Let it be in terms of 10 power 8 only. Divide 3 by root 6.
1.225, ma'am.
Yeah, correct. 1.225 into 10 to the power 8 meter per second. So this is nothing but your phase velocity. Is there any problem in solving the answers of this or solving the problem?
No, ma'am.
Till now, the same problem is asked. There is one problem in the textbook which is given. Just a minute, I'll check some other. If it is there, I can give you. But till now, there is only one problem asked in the exam. That is the same with the parameters also. They have given you the same thing. You can write on the problem. A microstrip line is constructed. A microstrip line is constructed of a perfect conductor and a lossless dielectric board The relative dielectric constant of a fiberglass epoxy board is 5.23 and characteristic impedance is 50. Characteristic line impedance is 50 ohm. So characteristic impedance is 50 ohm. Calculate the line inductance and line capacitance. Calculate the line inductance and line capacitance. Take down one more. A microstrip line is constructed of copper conductor having epsilon r is equal to 5.23 H is equal to 0.8 mils, T is equal to 2.8 mils, W is equal to 10 mils. W is equal to 10 mils. calculate the characteristic impedance Z0, calculate the characteristic impedance Z0 of the line. This is completely different problem. This is the one yesterday you have solved related to characteristic impedance of microstrip line. So you have to use a different formula for Z0 to find out. Whereas this is related to your parallel strip line.